that footage was from last Monday, I think today's Thursday. Yeah, let's call it Thursday. So last Monday, our youngest son David came up and he helped me move a bunch of plywood down at the cabin that a neighbor had given me, and then he came up here and we cut some wood and he split wood and we moved that down to the cabin just to try to start getting some of this wood picked up, because in August I had another neighbor friend come with his tractor and he cleared this all out. He pushed some of the logs out of the way and made stacks. Got a stump wall here from hurricane stumps that came out of the ground. I mean, he had to dig craters for a couple of those. And then there's logs over here that he pushed out of the way also. So I have quite a few logs to cut up for firewood, and then some of them, like these guys down here, some of the bigger ones, and over there, I'm going to use my mini mill on those and try to mill some little boards and just try my hand at that. I still haven't used my mini mill, but I got it several months ago. But anyway, I wanted to give you a quick update on this property and how it's going clearing it, and as you can see, it's going pretty good. So let's head down to the cabin. All right, I am back. And there's the girls. I've got Pretty over here with Ruby, because she gets along good with her, and it looks like they have just taken to trashing this place like rock stars. The food tipped over, the water tipped over. So what I've done with Pretty is she was in this separate little run out here that I put together, and then for about 8 or 9 days she was in there and she could see the other girls and they kind of got familiar with each other. And for the last 2 or 3 nights of those 8 or 9 days, I put her in the coop at night with the other girls and let her sleep in there. So then I moved them into this tarp hoop house thingy, and I had a light in there, and that was where they first met each other, in a neutral area. None of them had been in there, and at first it went really good. They were just getting along so good. And then I let our Americana in and our Colombian Wyandotte, and those two proceeded to just pick on her endlessly. So I had them in that room for like 2 days, and then I moved them over here again and just kind of watched them, and then I actually would let them run around the yard too, just so they had some room. While I let them run around the yard, I started building this other outside run that I call the jungle run, and there is a door that I put inside the main run here on both sides actually, so I can separate them into 3 different places, and then I have this place as a 4th separate place if I need to separate more of them. But let me show you this fence here, and I do need to work on this gate still. It's pretty much it's really flimsy and plastic fencing stuff, so it's not good, but it's holding them in for now. So the fence goes up here, and there's along the coop, and this was really thick in here, but they have really scratched the heck out of it, and now it's just the big stuff left. And this is the pile of wood that David and I brought down here from the other property. So the fence comes up there, stretches around here, and then comes over to the cedar tree. And I put up the fence kind of high here because they get up on here, and they haven't tried to fly out yet. I think that main one there deters them, but we'll see. I don't know if they're going to attempt that in the future, but they are loving this big old jungle run here. And I love having them in a bigger space now, because several people had commented saying it's not really enough space for 5 chickens, and I felt the same. I wanted them in a bigger area, so adding a 6th chicken, it was like, oh man, it's time to do something about this. The nice thing about this jungle run is they do have some cover from aerial predators in here, in the big ferns and the rhodie and other trees. And then there is trees like this big cedar and this other tree here that kind of shield them from aerial predators from above that might spot them. Although one could get up in these trees and kind of watch them, I guess. But for the most part, I feel like they're pretty safe in here. They've got some hiding spots, but I'm going to definitely have to keep an eye on them and just watch for any hawks, eagles, ospreys. On the back side of the coop, the fence runs along here, and then I can still get to the nest box here. The reason I'm keeping pretty separate from most of the girls is I think the Colombian Wyandotte kind of tore her beak a little bit and kind of freaked me out, so I've been keeping her separate. The only one that really gets to hang out with her is Ruby, who is the other speckled Sussex right here. And she's really nice to her and kind of watches out for her. So what I do is keep them separated in this run, or I'll open up these two runs and shut that gate so the other girls are out there. And I'm going to do that for a little while and keep an eye on her beak. She's eating and everything, and she's able to peck at corn and things like that, corn on the cob, so I think she's all right, but just be taking some extra time with her now and going to baby her a little bit because, you know, she's on top of everything. She's molting, and our girls have never molted before like that, so I think that kind of added to them picking on her because she looks all scraggly, and so, yeah, she's kind of had a rough time, but we'll keep her separated for a while and let her hang out with Ruby. And I have let her out a couple times out in here when I'm out here, and she keeps her distance from them. Well, thanks for stopping by. And from the jungle, I'm Jay, and I will see you next time.